Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. For anybody watching on video, you'll notice we're in a bit of a different studio.
Another studio.
I was joking, what's this version 4.0, 5.0? I don't.
Is that 4 studios or 4 evictions?
Yeah,
One of the two.
I swear, every time we go up and up, and now this might seem like a step backwards, but for reasons that I think it'll improve the overall video production. No more green screen. I mean, I guess we got a blue screen, but that's a blue wall. That's just the color of my room.
Paint.
It's paint. It's just good
Paint
old
and
paint.
sheetrock. But no more green screen.
Nope. But you know what? Overall, I think it's going to be for the better of the video production.
For the studio, yes.
Yes, absolutely. But nonetheless, this is Monday, which means we have some news to talk about. But, there was also the release of Walkabout Mini Golf Atlantis DLC last week. So we're going to give our impressions on that. We posted a YouTube video of us doing the normal course. We're going to be posting one of us doing the hard course, but time to give our full thoughts on it.
I'll say I got a 11 under on the first course.
That's not bad.
No.
That's not bad. That was the second time we did it, though.
I'm really happy.
Yeah, that was impressive. I gave you a run for the money the first time, which we tried to record, but we had a little bit of a sound issue in the recording.
Mm-hmm. Worked out for me.
And then the second time you smoked me. Damn.
I still don't know why. I don't know if I played tonight if I would pop an 11 under.
That was good. You were doing good.
I was on point, and I think just coming off of having done just a test round, yeah, it made a difference.
Well, then we did the hard course last night, and I got smoked.
I think I was 11 over.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. So we'll give our impressions, our thoughts on the Walkabout Mini Golf Atlantis course, and then we also want to give some early impressions to this new game that came out on App Lab called Beer Pong Basement, which is actually made by a developer who posted in our Discord. So all the more reason to go join that party.
There's a handful of developers in Discord. Even get you your own channel.
Yeah, and this one has some real social VR potential. So we'll give our early impressions on that. I don't think we're ready for a full review of it, but just some early impressions. And then, after that, maybe before, but besides that, we also have some news to talk about. So why don't we start with the news and then we'll end with our impressions. Does that work for you, or do you want to do it vice versa?
No, I prefer that.
Yeah, get the news out of the way, right? There's only a couple pieces this week.
I love the news, but I'm anxious to talk about the new course and beer pong.
I'm worried that we'll be talking about Walkabout, and I'll know we'll still have the news to talk about after, and then I'll see
an hour later.
Yeah, and then I'll be cutting myself short or whatever. So yeah, let's get the news out of the way. So the first piece of news, we saw it, I think on Wednesday. I sent it to you. It's not something that's out yet. It looks like just some, in the work stuff, but it looks like Rec Room is looking at adding legs, which honestly
seems to be the current trend of things.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, it kept the same Rec Room graphics, which I always laugh at, like the floating bodies of Rec Room. There's something about it that, like, as an adult,
like a Weeble.
You go into VR and you see that as a free experience, you're probably not going to go back in.
Hold on. With Rec Room specific, you're seeing that, but you're also hearing.
Yes.
And let's be honest, the first time we jumped in the Rec Room, it's like the first words I heard were like some high-pitched scream, and it was running at me type of shit. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
But I will say, keeping that same graphical style and adding legs seems to make it look not more mature, but I don't know, more enticing visually. It seems to make a big difference.
They're gonna let you kick, like, so you can kick a squeaker.
That'd be fun.
Give you the big boot.
Yeah. But so yeah, no, you're right though. It looks like the current trend is
legs.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is like they've given everyone the basics, and let's be honest, in a lot of games it is pretty stripped down, and Rec Room was probably a great example of that. So it's like, as the technology gets better, and I don't know why it took this long, but someone stumbles on the fact that people actually want to see legs. You're giving them really detailed hands to look at, but they want to see legs.
You know, it would be funny if next year for our award show, if we're able to get trophies, if we have a best utilization of legs award, and the trophy is a leg.
If Rec Room will let me kick a squeaker, I'll give them the award, the squeaker kicker award.
But it's pretty minor news because it's not out yet. Like I said, it's just some work in progress.
It's definitely, all jokes aside, it's a good upgrade for them, and I think it's going to maybe pull in an older crowd that might have gone in it, like myself, and been like, this just isn't for me.
I agree. It seems so silly that the legs would make that much of a difference, but something about just seeing the picture
When you let me bring my avatar in, then it's a different
the
story.
meta avatar.
Yeah.
But so that's the first piece, nice and quick, real simple, but props to Rec Room. I'm curious to see who's able to get theirs out first, Rec Room or Horizon Worlds. Let's see, or like the meta avatar
Let's see,
integration.
the people who own the platform or the people programming.
Let's see. It's gonna
throttle them down until it.
No ability to add
your
legs
one
until we
frame
add
rate.
ours.
You added those legs and you're off by 1 frame rate. So,
but nonetheless, so I'm actually really excited to talk about this next one. We watched the trailer right before we started recording, and you went. It sounded like, in my opinion, you went from skeptical to like, oh, actually, I want to get this. Yeah,
I want to.
You already know what I'm going to talk about. We're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about Not for Broadcast VR, which is a game that came out on PC flat screen last year. So
It comes from Russian media.
yeah, it's a propaganda sim. So I never played the flat screen version.
Media propaganda. This is going to sell like hotcakes in the States. You know that.
And this is a standalone, adaptation of it. So, if you own the original game, you're not going to get this for free. And it's its own game. It's not like a 1-to-1 port. It seems like same concept.
Which is good. They're saying that because then there's not going to be that
expectation.
We can't hold you to the same exact standards as your flat screen when you're up front and go, no.
Nope.
This isn't a flat screen. We're making changes for VR, i.e. taking stuff away, but we're going to make it work.
That's how I interpreted that. But let's see. But it seems like the basis of the game is that you're in like a media control room and the news plays, or like the broadcast is playing, and you need to dictate it to, push your propaganda, whether that's censoring people, you name it. I mean, cutting footage, zooming in on people, you name it. You're probably doing it in there from what it looked.
Up to and including reactions. So for whatever reason or need be, you can decide what the reactions to the clip is. So basically you're going to walk away with a very firm understanding of how local media or mainstream media can manipulate anything. Because you're going to be doing it in this game. That's why when I saw I'll say the totality of this game simulation, I'm like,
in depth.
This is more than just a simulation. This is a potential eye opener because you go, if I can do this in my house in VR,
that's one dude. What about a team?
Taking something that might be positive and making it negative and demanding the negative reaction from it and all that. To me, it's very eye opening, and I want it as soon as I can get my dirty little paws on it.
Yeah, well, I'm curious. Is it like you go through a story and it dictates, or is it like a sandbox of never ending?
Because it looks like they're using video clips.
Yeah, it looked like real footage.
It's making me think that how big is their library of stories that you can manipulate or change? So that would be probably the biggest thing I'm gonna.
maybe each playthrough you do the same 20 stories, but how you
change it. Is someone going to tell you like, hey, we need to start a war, so you need to do this. So I've got a ton of questions, but it looks wicked good. It looks like a control room. I mean, looks almost overwhelming with the amount of stuff.
I agree, but I feel like they're going to give you an in-depth tutorial. They have to for how I agree, overwhelming that looked with different controls and functions.
I want it, and I want it now.
Well,
so what's it called again? Let's say the name a dozen times.
Not for Broadcast VR, and on better news, in the classic fashion of VR, not only was the game announced, it is also coming out in March.
Like a month.
Yeah. Now, I also want to give a shout out to the developers because that's fair. It's developed by Not Games, and I might pronounce this wrong, Baba Roga, and it's published by Tiny Build. And again, so this on Steam, it says it's coming out March 23rd to be specific.
Yeah, keep your eye out for that. That's going to be a day one for.
That would
be my recommendation. Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be yet. Never played the original, but I'm sold conceptually. And just off the trailer they posted, it looks really freaking cool.
I wouldn't say no to an early release on this one.
No, like early access on it.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say no.
It happens.
If this will probably be one I'll push for. If anything, I'm real excited for this one. And based off
this and Maestro, I want more of. I want to know where they're going. I can't get definitive answers on on this date.
The game looked polished in the trailer. Like, it looks pretty ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a month out from release, it's
2 months to be fair.
Pretty safe to assume. Well, I'm thinking they should do it March 1st. And February is the shortest month, so it's not really that much of a stretch.
But no, we're definitely both excited for Not for Broadcast VR. It looks so much fun. I think that this one has
Has
potential.
a lot of potential. The only concern again will be the Oh, I dropped my pen.
No worries.
My only concern will be the amount of video content that
Is actually available.
and then, or is the future plan to have like DLCs of, we're going to non-charged, of course, but we're going to put in different stories. I don't know. I want to get my hands on it. I want to play it.
Can you get fired halfway through because you're being too free
literally,
speechy?
are you being directed what to do, or
Yeah, I
are
have
you
so
the
many
guy
questions.
controlling everything so that the general public responds and reacts? And yeah, so many questions, and I'm just anxious. If you could not tell.
So this is going to be a bit of a short news week because, like we said
We
at
got
the
more to
start.
talk about.
Yeah, we're anxious, but I got 2 more things to talk in news.
Lay it on me.
The next one, Among Us VR, in something that is huge props to them because the game only came out a couple months ago, and the VR industry, while the Quest 2 sold like hotcakes in comparison to other headsets, it's still a niche gaming market. So it's really cool to see that Among Us VR has already hit 1 million units sold since release.
$10 million.
Yeah, it's $10 game. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know what their overhead is. They're split between different developers, publishers, but easy math there. Their revenues,
They're
easy.
making. They're not broke.
But there is a cosmetics pack that they sell in that game as well that I did buy on release. And who knows? I didn't pay attention if they added more or if there's more coming. So it could be even more than 10 mil. 10 mil revenue is the low end.
We know as people keep buying headsets, they're going to keep buying the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing I see people wanting with that is,
I think that's gonna
different areas, different maps.
I think that's going to be a day one buy for a lot of people who buy a headset and they scroll through the lobby or not the lobby, the library.
Price affordable, it's
Familiar
not too-
title.
Motion sickness really shouldn't be that much of an issue.
No. Again, familiar title. People, I know Among Us. Boom.
You've played it before on your handheld.
Mm-hmm. I think you bought
You're under 10.
what's the Angry Birds? You bought the Angry Birds VR pretty early into you owning a headset, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right
it's
off the bat.
because it's a familiar title.
I was like, I know how to play this.
Yeah.
And the thought of like, well, what can they do? And they did an amazing job, by the way.
Yeah, and that one.
Like really amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe we've never actually because it's pretty old at this point, but that is a good VR.
As is Angry Birds, but
Yeah,
shit, if you give me more Angry Bird maps, I'll keep playing.
Yeah, Angry Birds was actually a surprisingly good phone game. I'm not like a huge on the, like the addictive phone games like that. Occasionally I'll play a strategy one, but Angry Birds was a bit of the exception. Like I wasn't like a Flappy Bird guy,
I sucked at Flappy Bird.
But Angry Birds, that was fun.
Yeah, but you got different birds to throw, and each one did their different things.
And what do I always talk about? 3-star level clearing.
Yeah.
Boom. Cause you to just would you ever settle for 2 stars? No. So that's
no,
why
especially if like getting 3 stars. You know how a lot of games will do that. It won't open up another level until you've gotten a certain amount of points. And really, if you do the math, you have to get 3 stars. So
yeah. So hint, hint, nudge, nudge for developers working on those type of games with like level clearing. I can't say
it's
it
good
enough.
for replayability.
Insanely good.
Yeah, as we learned with the last Clockwinder. When you do those
3
puzzles,
tiers.
if you don't have to do them all, but it gives you at least an incentive, especially when you're finished and you rethink of like how prehistoric your earlier methods were. It's easier to go back and go, shit, I got this,
Or Iron Guard VR. That's a great example too.
Yeah, dude, I'm the wrong guy to talk to about that.
So
I go in there out of spite just to see if I'm off a leaderboard on a certain level, and then I'll play it and pop myself back on.
So we started on Among Us VR and ended up on Angry Birds and 3 stars, adding to replayability.
all
But
VR.
It happens.
What are you gonna do?
Sometimes we get a little sidetracked. But yeah, huge props to all the teams behind that. That worked on Among Us VR. I know it was a collaboration between Shell Games and the original developers, and I think some other people as well too. So huge props to them. That was a.
It's a good victory, but now we know you've made $10 million, so people want to see more. Really, it's like they said on release that there was more coming. So.
You know what I think that's a huge testament to? Like, hell yeah, take these popular titles and just port them over. Cash money like that.
Real quick, But it has to be
good too. And
not for nothing, Angry Birds on VR did quite well as well. So
and
graphics are nice. Not to keep going there.
No, but to your point about has to be good, Among Us VR won our port of the year. I mean, it was a very well done port, and that's why it's able to hit that type of revenue. If word gets out that your port sucks, it's not going to make that type of revenue.
There's so many flat screen games.
that should just be being ported to VR right now. 100%.
Dude, the police simulator I'm playing now on Xbox just screams VR. Screams it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overly.
Your Power Wash Sim, all those.
Yeah.
Keep the ports coming, baby. That's
We
all
say
I
it
say.
every week. Any sim, any tycoon game, it's
Keep
meant
them
to
coming.
be.
Keep them coming. So, just one more piece of news, and then I promise we'll get into our early impressions and thoughts on Walkabout Mini Golf and Beer Pong Basement. But the last piece of news, one of my absolute favorite VR games, one of the games that honestly sold me to buy a headset, just watching footage of it, Thrill of the Fight, made by a solo developer at the time. His name was Ian Fitz. And then now, the game's developed by Sea Lost Interactive as his game company. But, he made Thrill of the Fight. Oh, man. To this day, probably the best boxing, like true to real life VR boxing sim. Like, you will get such an insane workout. For any boxing fan, you're going to have a blast in that game. The sequel's been in the works for a bit, too. And any fan of Thrill of the Fight is biting their nails waiting for any news. While we didn't get a release date, we didn't get, it's coming out now or anything like that. I won't lie, I'm a little nervous about this, but it did come out that he is now partnering with a company called Half Brick Studios to co-develop the game. Now, all the news that they're saying about it is that it's now going to be co-developed between Ian Fitz and Half Brick Studios. What I wonder is it actually Half Brick Studios and Sea Lost Interactive, or is his company just gone now, and now it's just him and that other company?
Well, as long as, and it seems on paper that he has final say in the development, so I'm not as fearful, and I'm thinking that it's a good sign that
it's a company that specialized in like phone app games with a lot of microtransactions. So I don't think his game will go that way, but it's like a little nervous. Just as like, I don't know, that was one of my favorite VR games. Now there's other people meddling their dirty fingers in it.
I think look, hats off to and we've talked to a ton of small development teams, but you reach a point where it's like,
it's
you've
hard.
got something really nice or amazing and you want to make it better. And it cannot all happen by yourself. You reach a point where you have to have a team. You have to have employees. So it's like, if this is going to free up more of his brain to like focus in areas that he shouldn't have to, then home run.
I shouldn't be skeptical until I see the actual final
I think
product,
what's got you skeptical is in-app purchases.
Yeah, but I don't think
But, phone developers or, phone app studios coming over to VR is a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Same with the former Flash game developers. But what is great about this, too, is that they did announce, which was kind of already heavily hinted at previously, but they confirmed, Thrill the Fight 2 will have multiplayer.
Yeah.
PvP, Creed had it, but I'll be honest with you, Thrill the Fight's a way better boxing sim than Creed.
Yeah, I'll see some of the videos of Creed of people just spazzing out. They really need to like think of a way to...
I'm curious how it's going to go.
Combat that method of...
It's real. It's like the same problem the sword fighting games have. How do you...
Well, we know one developer that's figured out a way to make your AI almost unbeatable if you want.
Oh, Swordsman VR?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make their AI absolute perfect sword fighter, unbeatable, and then just, all right, how much do we got to tune it down from there?
It goes from you have no chance in hell, which we always said, though, I wish they would leave the option for
the unbeatable
guy. Nobody's ever beaten it.
But maybe I can.
Dude, everybody would try. Come on.
Maybe I can.
You say that it's there. Dude, Penn and Teller made a video game way back in the day. It was a driving game. And it was made with the intent that you can't play it. Like you'll be driving and it'll force you off the road type of thing. So if you're not 100% on your toes all the time, the game's over. And people were addicted to it. But you can't finish it.
Pretty sure Penn and Teller has a VR game too. Very confident.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But I don't think it was I don't think it was the most well received, I'll say, either. But
we're also reaching a time in life where some people will hear Penn and Teller and go, "Who?"
Yeah, that's surprising.
So, I mean, it just happens.
Yeah, Penn and Teller VR. It's got a 3.6 on the MetaQuest store. I'm sorry, 3.0. It's a magic tricks game. It's called Penn and Teller VR FU and U.
Okay. No, I used to love Penn and Teller.
Hell
They do
yeah.
great magic
Hell yeah.
or illusions.
But
No
so
such thing as magic.
so that wraps it up on news this week. But simple stuff. I'm mostly excited for what come next. So let's start with our beer pong basement early impressions. So this is like I said, a member of our Discord. He was posting that, hey, I'm working on a game. This was probably like what?
He was
a month?
so casual about the way he said it too. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, just because I didn't think it would be.
Yeah.
Then I saw the trailer and was like, holy smokes.
Would you say maybe about a month or so ago he came in saying that he was working on it? He's just submitting to App Lab. He's waiting on approval. They already got back to him with some changes he needed to make, but he was out of town, so he had to wait till he got back. That's probably about a month ago. And he posted some pictures of it, and it looked real tight. And like you said,
The graphics looked really good.
very casual, and it's called Beer Pong Basement. Now, beer pong in VR, that sounds like a concept that would work really good,
Mm-hmm.
So I was intrigued, to say the least. And then, last week he comes out and he was like, hey, or maybe 2 weeks ago, the game's actually out. So, of course, we got to go check it out. Member of our Discord makes a game, kind of looks good graphically. How are we not going to go peek in there, play some beer pong? It's $7.99 on the App Lab store. And just to give a shout out to the gentleman, it's developed and published on the Quest store. It says Jonas Bellman, so I guess that's his real name. It's currently got a 4.4 overall rating on the MetaQuest store. Of course, it just came out on January 20th, so still pretty new. So it's only got 7 ratings and 6 written reviews. But if you like beer pong, man, I'd say check out Beer Pong Basement. It's pretty cool so far. Still seems early in the works, though. You pointed out some cool stuff about like the YouTube TVs, because you checked it out a little bit before me. Then we did some multiplayer.
Yeah, no, they got the nice 32-inch TVs all over the ceiling, angled down. Mm-hmm. It's the ultimate man cave basement is what it's turning out to be. There's a couch area with freaking cards, which we don't know really what the cards do yet. Some
you just draw one card constantly.
Yeah, so there's a dartboard down there, but there's no darts.
There's like a Flappy Bird type.
There's an arcade machine. There's a slot machine. Of course, you got your YouTube integration machine, which you can also do from your wrist.
You have a beer can vending machine.
Obviously, you've got with an unlimited amount of beer in a can too. Which is
once you buy one, you just Stone Cold Steve Austin it nonstop.
So early impression. We're having fun.
Yeah, it's beer pong.
There's a little bit of issues here and there, which I'm sure just coming out. A week ago, it'll get tightened up, but I'm gonna be curious to see little changes that get made, and
yeah, absolutely see how this keeps going. How many TVs would you say are in there total? Because you have 2 above the beer pong table, you have 1 with the couch that's huge, then you have 4 or 5,
4 or 5. You also use your avatars or Ready Player Me avatars, so they'll default you with some smoky looking guy.
Yeah, some homeless man with some homeless man gloves. The fingerless gloves,
I hope you feel like shit when a developer sends you a picture and it's like,
that's me, bro. I
that
love
was
those
me,
gloves.
man.
I know.
What the hell are you talking about?
It was just funny the way it looks in Ready Player Me version, at least.
Yeah, and for the price, $8.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting probably $8 more than value if you buy it.
Yeah.
It seems like if he's going to continue to work on it, it's only going to get better.
Well, the YouTube integration's really tight. Like I said, having it on all the different TVs is real cool. Plays for both people.
Yeah.
Really easy to use. There's a volume slider, so you can, it affects it for both people. It's real easy to manipulate.
It's a little forgiving with the throwing.
Yes. Now I was going to get into
into
the actual gameplays. And if you want to change your Ready Player Me avatar, this is, I think the Rack 2 was using this same system with Ready Player Me. The only downside is you can't change it in game.
No, you have to
go on your computer and go to the website, which they put right on the screen. But then, for the actual gameplay, you can play against an AI, like an AI robot.
Yep.
Or you can play with your friends, which is real easy to join a room and create a session. No issues there. But they kind of have 2 different play modes. With the beer pong, you have a real regular mode, which nothing special, regular beer pong rules. And then they have a power-ups mode, which on the power-ups, each person's turn, a present pops up in front of them. and then you pick it, and then it could be a wide variety of a skull card that skips your turn, a shield that pops up and protects your cups. It could shrink you. It could make you super tall. There's a couple different
Give you a gun.
Give you a gun.
5 seconds to
shoot as many balls as you can from the gun.
Yeah,
that one's the best one.
I like the power up mode more than just the standard.
It adds more replayability, I think, because it's unpredictable.
Yeah,
like you don't know what you're gonna get with it. So yeah, we played both. Both were fun, but I agree. I like the power ups. They were silly. They were unique.
Mm-hmm.
We did have one glitch with one of the power ups, the shield. When you draw the shield, boom, awesome. Now your stuff's protected, but you got to grab your left ball fast because it's very easy for the shield to push the ball over the edge.
Yeah, I think it was just on your side where it kept falling down.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if I was red or blue, but I was on the far side of the table, farther away from the door.
I think you were red.
Yeah, I was closer to like the fireplace and stuff like that. But other than that, I think that was the only real glitch we had.
For an app lab, I mean, he even gives you, you can look at the ping.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very few games will let you see their ping.
Not. Well, it'll show you the ping. Actually, yes, you are correct on the wall. But not only that, when you open up on your wrist,
your frames per second.
Yeah, it'll show your FPS. Which it's interesting to see how much it varies by just moving a little bit.
Where you go,
what part of the room you're in. Yeah, and it doesn't even feel any different as
talk about full disclosure. I mean, ping is kind of rare as it is, but
then
seeing
the
ability
FPS.
To, only time I ever would really use that was in the old Counter-Strike days.
Mm-hmm.
Put it up so you could see all your loss, and your ping. Oh yeah, it was everything.
But then you kind of referenced a little earlier ago. When you are playing the game, it is a bit forgiving if you throw it.
Yeah,
there's a bit of a throw assist that I didn't see any way to toggle on or off. But I think it would be cool to have an arcade mode in like a real mode
and a simulation mode.
Yeah, where one has a throw assist, and there were some times where I was making shots and I was like, "No way did I make that!" You know,
pew.
You already know when it's gonna go in perfect because it just perfectly goes with it. But you can either just toss in, or you can bounce, just like you probably would do more in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me a second to realize what was going on here with this. If there's regulation. So you can't reach your arm all over the table and throw it. So if you go to throw the ball with your arm too far extended over the table, the ball just bursts into flames and goes away. And I think it happened to me like 6-7 times before I really figured it out. And I'm like, oh, I'm standing way too close to the table.
Yeah, I figured it out by taking one of the balls and just reaching my hand across my cups. And then I'm like, okay.
So that's what's going on. But that's cool that they don't let you do that.
No, because
people.
Let's be honest. All you would do is walk down the side of the table and drop it in someone's cup. So they made it so you're not going past any part of your cups.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had fun.
Yeah, it was cool, and you get credits when you make a cup and when you win. And then what do you do with the credits? That's how you play the slot machine, which you can unlock new balls and stuff like that. Which I didn't figure out how to change my balls.
No, gotta change your balls.
Change my balls. This episode is sponsored by Manscaped.
I'll keep the ones I was born with.
Code word Ruff Talk VR for your balls.
There's some interactables around the room that will give you balls too.
Yeah, we won't say where, but I found one so far. You pointed it out to me. I didn't find it. You found it, and then you told me where it was. But somewhere in the room, you can find an extra ball too.
Yep.
And then the beer costs like 5 credits. I think the slot machine
$5 beer.
Yeah, but it's endless.
And it's in a vending machine.
And it's endless.
We're saying it's beer. It could be soda,
Yeah, that's true. The can looks a lot. It's not called Duff, like the Simpsons Duff, but it reminds me.
It had that Simpsons name feel to it.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of Duff beer. I think it's called Buff. And then, the slot machine costs 5, and the game is supposed to cost 3 credits to play, but for now it's free.
The video game.
The Flappy Birds, yes. Not playing ping pong. Playing ping pong is how you actually make money.
Yep. And the slot machine, if you win, will pay you $100.
Yeah.
So,
can you think of any other glitches that we had besides the
none?
The shield part?
The shield was the only thing. And that wasn't even a big deal. The only reason it became a big deal is because one time it knocked your ball on the ground. You threw the ball that was on the table.
And then it didn't progress.
Didn't end the round. It's not like we could pick the ball up off the floor because it wasn't there.
Yeah. but I caught it falling a couple times. Like I saw it get knocked off the table. I'm like, no. Like later, once I figured out what was going on.
No, I put it in. If you want some current fun and follow a game in development, this is the one to get.
Yeah,
I mean,
a
it's
lot of potential.
Under $10.
And you know, it hit that social VR kind of itch. You know, I don't know how many people can be supported in a room, but
that's
was
what
fun.
I'm thinking. And like, if I'm like big picture of things, if the darts became accessible and the card table actually like you did war or something, who knows?
You put on some sports on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like now if you've got different areas people can hang out in, and then you know host your in-house beer pong tournament, then yeah, you're golden.
I'll face winner. You know,
this is a great way if you don't want to drink alone, how you can justify it.
Well, it's the game is fun though. It's got a lot of potential. Got a lot of
right
potential.
in the name, beer pong.
So, if you like those kind of social VR, kind of like you know walkabout for VR type environments, this is it.
It's got potential.
Yep. So I'm huge props to him. I think the biggest thing that sticks out is the graphics. I think the main change I'd like to see though, this is just selfish because we talk about it every week, is meta avatars. That way you could edit your guy easily and all that too. And I have my consistent, my dude.
I know.
My dude.
But not everybody's definitely on the.
No, I think we're a little bit in the minority.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I like popping in a game and I see my dude in there. That's why I can't wait for Drop Dead the Cabin. Nice survival game with a meta avatar. Dude, it's gonna be freaking awesome. I'll even customize my guy a little bit before we play that game. Give myself a little update. I don't like my guy's beard and stuff.
Yeah.
No, my guy's beard
might get dirty in that game.
All right, so also it was announced on a Forbes article. I'm sorry, not Forbes, Variety.com, that the people we talked to 2 weeks ago, top right corner, have a new horror game that they referenced a bit on our episode too, but I think the name that I saw on the Variety.com article was Find Her, Kill Her. So it said it's going to be...
That's going to go over really well. Dude, this is the wokest game ever.
So I'm excited to kind of hear more about that. And
that's
see more
allowable.
about that.
But if it said for not making dinner at the end of it in small print, people would lose their minds.
Yeah, no, I thought the title was a little aggressive. Find Her, Kill Her. It should... I think just the name Find Her would be like
that's
eerie.
The stalking sim that they're making.
Or...
in collaboration with Thief Sim.
Yeah, that was a funny reaction to the name, though.
Yeah. Find Her, Kill Her. They'll probably change that.
I'm excited to kind of hear more about it, though. So maybe we can get them on again right before release, you know?
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
But
I'm down for the new horror games coming out.
Yeah, we're such bosses with them.
It's about time we start playing them.
Yeah, I know. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am at the same time.
Especially multiplayer, because they're
multiplayer horror games I can handle.
They're getting smart.
I don't want you to be throwing these single player ones at me, but nonetheless, so
we'll do it.
You want to take a moment for our ad break, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap it up with our thoughts on the newest Mighty Coconut Edition. All right. So, like always, if you've been enjoying this episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Means a lot. Just like you hear the game developer say, "Hey, rate our game 5 stars." Definitely is always cool to see. And, subscribing is the easiest way to get our content ASAP. And also, we referenced our Discord earlier, where the guy who makes Beer Pong Basement actually hangs out. So if you want to go check out our Discord.
But this way, you never know who's going to pop in.
No, it's been...
And if you look at the names on there, there's some
pretty
good game developers in there.
Yeah, and just overall, even the people who aren't game developers are regulars who kind of come
and don't forget,
active. And
we do have YouTube, so feel free to subscribe to that. That would be most helpful.
Yes, we do have YouTube, and we also have a Patreon server with a whole bunch of different tiers. Currently we have 3 Patreon peeps. So, if you want to go be the 4th, that'd be, that'd be cool. So, other than that, stay tuned. Wait just a moment. Take a message from the sponsors, and we'll be back with you with our thoughts on this Atlantis DLC.
The coconut.
This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you with lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Newsflash, gentlemen, Valentine's Day is almost here, and by the grace of Cupid, our friends at Manscaped are coming with the best tools to get your boys downstairs ready for this special occasion. I'd like to propose making February 13th National Shave Your Balls Day. Who's with me? Get lucky this V-Day. And join the 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Guys, if you're going to spend all that money buying your significant other roses and chocolate, make sure you give her the most important gift this year, and that would be some fresh balls. The holidays went by so quickly. Did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Platinum Package from Manscaped is the all-encompassing package that every guy needs in their life to make each and every day just a little more special. The headliner in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0. The trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate parts. It even has a 4000K LED spotlight so you can shave anywhere your heart desires. Did I mention it's waterproof too? This package also includes the Weed Whacker, nose and ear hair trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts: their Shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. No Platinum package is complete without the ultimate hygiene bundle to get you fresh from head to toe. This bundle includes Manscaped's premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo, Body Plus ball deodorant, plus much more. Infused with aloe vera and sea salt, Manscaped's body wash will leave your skin feeling clean, fresh, and hydrated all date night long. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day.
And we are back.
Holy moly.
And maybe you're even now in the Discord. That'd be cool.
That was fast. Welcome.
Right? Oh, I forgot to say before when I was doing my whole spiel about that. So probably they didn't join the Discord, but you can find the link to join our Discord and our Patreon and all that stuff.
And IG. And Facebook.
Well, I don't have the links for those there, but you can find the links for our Patreon and stuff in our show notes, our episode description. But yeah, so back with you with our thoughts on the Atlantis DLC from Walkabout Mini Golf. So this one isn't a licensed, branded DLC like
nobody owns Atlantis, dude.
No. Maybe
nobody can even find it.
Maybe Poseidon,
But you know what? Mighty Coconut found it.
Well, dude, this is their first course to also feature, it came at the same time of their update with 33% resolution increase.
Mm-hmm.
And they really showed it off in this course. This might be one of the most, if not the most visually pleasing course that they've done yet.
I hate saying that because
I feel like I say it every time a new course
comes. They got some good ones, and when you go back in them, you're like, shit, this was popping, But no, this one is like, hoo-wee for being under the water. I think I was saying last night, like if it was any more realistic, I would drown.
No, it feels like you're underwater. They do a great job with just the scenery around you. You look up, you see like where the water ends. Mm-hmm. You can see the sunlight hitting it. Surface of the ocean. Beautiful. You have these awesome sea creatures. You got a crab that waves at you all over the course.
Dude, sea turtles.
You got sea turtles. You got a big whale.
Stingrays. Mm-hmm. And you can ride the whale and you can ride the turtle.
Yeah, so aesthetically, they crushed it. And something that I think that they deserve a lot of props with on this course is the soundtrack on it. Mm-hmm. Like musically is beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna say this whole course together with the graphics, the gameplay, and the sounds have really all come together. It's probably in just an opinion, but I think with all the courses they have, and don't get it twisted, a lot of them are damn good and they sound damn good and the music score is good, but this one for some reason was like the complete package to me.
Oh, I agree.
Everything just, and that's not taking away from
know.
any of the other courses by any means, but I felt like the music score was a notch up from.
Agreed, 100%.
And that tied with the little better visual, still walkabout-ish. There's nothing about it that's not, but it just overall together was like, damn, this thing is.
Well, even without the increased resolution, just like those sea creatures interacting with you, the ripple, the current, not the current, the surface of the water.
How about the hard mode when it's nighttime?
Oh,
and the neon colors on all the tropical fish and the turtles.
I was just about to say the turtle looking different. So I
crushed it.
I don't know if it's recency bias and it's like, oh, it's just the newest, so it's my favorite. But to me, this feels like their best DLC.
I think it was just
definitely aesthetically to me.
I mean, let's be honest. Every time they come out with a new course, there's always an improvement to some degree. But this one, I would challenge anyone to play it and not be like, oh, snap. This is definitely, I mean, they have air bubbles. They got the representation of being in the water is like
in Atlantis.
Yeah.
You're in Atlantis playing this course. And, we've been raving about the aesthetics, but you referenced it for a second, the gameplay of the course too. The holes themselves, the 36 holes, because you have 18 on the normal mode, then 18 on the hard mode. The actual holes themselves are so well done. They're all fun. A lot of them are challenging. There's not anything like unrealistic with physics or, you think back to the Labyrinth course where things stick to the wall or like bounce like crazy, which are fun too. But this is much more standard gameplay of a course, but they're just super fun and creative, different holes. I actually had a blast with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's their hardest either.
No, I mean,
you got -11.
I got -11. I mean, so
and even I didn't do too bad either.
But I'll say the hard mode is probably one of the most challenging I've played.
I was actually surprising myself in hard mode when we had played last night because I was getting par on a lot of the holes. But here's what would happen: I would either get par or stroke out. So I think I stroked out on 3 different holes. So you do that, your score is going to be like what, like +14 by the end? I was like, oh, damn it, because I don't feel like I did terrible.
I'm not bragging about my hard score at all.
No.
I'll brag about my 11 under.
For anybody who hasn't checked out, we posted a video of us doing our second time ever playing the course.
Yeah.
We went to go do our first time, like I said earlier, sound issue, so the video didn't save properly, and damn it, recording natively on the Quest.
I'm happier with the way it turned out.
Yeah,
because my first go around score was probably like +3. No, I don't think it was. I think it was -2.
Yeah, I think you beat me by 1 or 2.
Yep.
Not by much at all.
I think you were at least 1 under.
Yep, because I had unlocked the hard mode with it. I remember on the last hole, I was going into it 0, like even, not plus, not minus, on par. But I believe you need to get under par to unlock the course.
I did come 2 under because remember I was talking shit.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, this is the last hole.
Yep.
Game in the bag. And then what happens? I freaking mess up so bad.
So then you had to make that last shot.
Yeah, that last shot was everything.
Yep. Otherwise, we would have tied, But then on my 18th hole, I got 1 under par. So yeah, you got -2, I got -1. But then the second time we played, you got -11. You just smoked me.
Yeah, there was something special in Atlantis that evening.
But I'll say I don't think there's a single one of the holes on normal mode or hard mode that I disliked. Like there's none that I look forward to. The one with the starfish, I joke they had a bad office day. That day somebody was in a bad mood. But it's still a good hole, and if you play it right, it's really not that hard. I'm just being silly with it.
Yeah, the more we've stumbled on it, the more I'm seeing the possibilities of it. But that first time, it's like, no, I'm talking riding the inside of the triangles because they'll spit you out. But man, yeah, I agree. Like somebody was like, yo.
Well, if you hit it wrong too, you can be.
Who drank the last cup of coffee? I'm at work. I'm ready to finish my course. Who drank the last cup of coffee? And well, if that's how it's going to be, then I'm going to give you some raised starfish that you can figure out. Have a good day.
And the hard mode version of that one is even better because you start elevated.
Yeah, you're driving down onto these raised starfish that will show you no mercy.
So,
I love everything about it.
yeah, the gameplay of it was so fun. Like I said, nothing too challenging. If somebody's out there and they love the wicked hard courses, they might be like, oh, this is too easy. But for me, who's not an expert walkabout mini golf player, I'm never going to be the one with the best
Professional
score.
mini golfer?
No, I'm never going to be the one with the
Not
best.
on the mini golf pro scene, dude.
The only way I'm going to be the one with the best score in the room is if I'm playing solo. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
nobody's around.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching.
I'm definitely not the expert player. So this is a perfect course for me where it's fun. The holes are creative. They're realistic, which sounds weird for being underwater, but they don't like bend gravity or anything like that. And aesthetically, just the visuals of the course and that music in the background is so nice.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'll put it on my own personal record. I think pound for pound, it's the most polished DLC, and that it pains me because I have Labyrinth.
Well, even like
in my
on
head.
Sweetopia,
Yeah. Oh,
20,000 Leagues
rocks.
Under the Sea.
But I
They're
do
all so
believe
good.
this is the most combined.
Dude, having a course in a submarine was freaking awesome. But just something about Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean, I instantly felt what I was supposed to feel. And then, like, again, the music really stuck out. It's not like people are singing opera in your ear. It's just the background sounds and the music. It's like it all fit perfect.
Yeah, so huge props to Mighty Coconut. Really showing off that 33% resolution increase. But even without that, it's a beautiful course.
And the most important part of it is they're charging you under $5.
Yes.
So
What did it go up from $2.99 to $3.99?
yeah, I'll say $5.
Yeah,
throw
it's
them a tip. You're totally getting value. Totally.
Yeah, dude, again, 36 holes, 16, wow, drop 20. 36 holes in that $4 purchase. So worth it.
It's over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say,
We've already played it a couple times, so
yeah.
I already want to go back.
Dude, I mean, well, first of all, it's Walkabout mini golf. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what course they give you, it's like, and you know what's crazy now is when I look at all the courses. And I'm like, holy crap, have they come a long way.
The user interface with it's good too, where they have it organized by lost cities, then they have the original courses.
Remember,
then
they didn't
have
need to do that back then. It was like
No, just
4
one
courses,
screen. Boom.
4 or 5 courses.
You know what's funny? Since they started DLC too, they went from having no DLC to just like every couple months. They're
Yeah,
pumping
like
it, and it's so worth
DLC
it.
every 2 months. And we know for a fact they got good shit coming in 2023.
I need to see that whiteboard. And I mean, yeah, huge stuff. Huge props to the Mighty Coconut team. Always one-upping it.
We know that they're going to continually push themselves to be better than best. And that's something I really love about their whole company. I mean, everybody that works for them has this, it's fun. They're really enjoying what they do. They're a growing company. So it's like, this is just not going to stop.
No, and huge props to Lucas Martel, Don Carson, Edward Felix, and all the other members of the team that we haven't interviewed yet. I'm sure
We'll get there.
I'm sure we're slowly one
We'll
by
snipe
one.
ya.
Yeah, we'll get to you. Don't worry. But
No, they crushed it. It's a 10 out of 10 to me.
dare I say that the team's chemistry feels like it's growing in the courses? It feels like that they just have such a groove with each other at this point.
I mean, in reality, we're not going to see the best
Even the sound
until
guys.
probably half a decade.
Yeah.
You'll look back at these early days and be like, oh man, you guys used to really go apeshit for that, huh? It's like 5 years from now is where, and I'm sure they're thinking in the years ahead as well. But it's like I'm scared to think of where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Because if there's good talent out there, they're going to sniff it out and they're going to get it.
And you said it yourself. Well, it doesn't seem like that they go for the standard VR talent either. They go outside the box. They go to the Disney engineers.
Best
They go
in the industry, I think, that they can get for what they want to have done.
Yeah.
You want to build a mini park course? Then, well, yeah, a former Disney Imagineer who's built multi-million-dollar, exhibits and stuff. That's who you go to.
Lucas Martel, extremely successful animator, besides even the VR stuff,
He probably never had to do VR if he didn't want to.
No, but look at what it...
Thank God he did, though.
Yeah, for our selfish enjoyment, absolutely.
Well, it's because it's also become like the gold standard that
For
other
social
games will
VR.
get. Yep. Is it as fun as like socially as Walkabout mini golf?
I mean, and who knows how much... They'll never disclose, and if I was them, I would never even hint to it, but who knows how much DLC they actually sell. Like, maybe they hear Among Us selling 1 million. They're like, phew, already sold that on Atlantis, you know, between Steam and, you know.
We know for a fact there are people who would prepay for DLC.
You said it in the interview with Don Carson. You said, give me a season pass. I'll buy a season pass.
What am I getting? $20 a year? You're going to give me whatever comes out that year? I'm on it.
I'll get, 100%. People will do it.
They're the gold standard for what they do. And again, I want to see this company 5 years from now. It's already a powerhouse, so it's only going to get better and better.
Yeah, and not to keep harping on it, just one more thing I got to get off my tongue. You were kind of saying, like, you know, everything just works together so well. And, like, even the sound guy, the guys making the music, or girls, who's ever making the music is on the same page with the animation and the gameplay. It all just fits so well together.
Oh, yeah.
Something about that crab waving at you, that's one of my favorite parts. And then the sea turtle, and then the whale, and just being in the water like that. You look up, you see the surface.
Pretty sure people will hear us talking to the sea life in the video.
Yes. Again, if you haven't watched our YouTube video of us playing Walkabout Mini Golf's new course, you know, definitely go check that out. And we're trying to get better with our YouTube production as well. We're a podcast first. Audio is always our number one priority.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not sweating the YouTube too much.
But, you know, we are trying to make some improvements. We're going to try to post some more gameplay separate videos and also, you know, overlay video on the games we're reviewing. Like on Wednesday, we're reviewing Grid Legends. You know, and you'll be able, if you're watching the YouTube, you'll see some footage of it.
Go figure somebody would want to actually see video when they're watching.
How dare they?
Only took a year for us to figure out.
Well, we've done it before, but, you know, we weren't the most consistent with it, I'll say. Now we're trying to make it
it's a new
2020 theme.
New year, new promises.
Yes. So, new studio, you know, and because we haven't said it yet, we said last week we're going to be harassing you people about this until March. The Ruff Talk VR crew will be at PAX East in Boston in March.
Yep, mics in hand too.
We have hotel. We're
We'll
getting
be
equipment
on the floor, ready to roll.
Yeah, we'll be interviewing. We'll be doing our thing. We're going to be decked out in Ruff Talk VR gear, so you're not going to be able to miss us. Down to the face mask, you're going to see Ruff Talk VR. So, you know, if you're a fan of the show, you like to listen, definitely stop in, say hi. You'll, like I said, can't miss us.
No.
And then other than that, I guess, like I said, Wednesday we'll be reviewing Grid Legends, and we got a real fun interview with you later this week as well. So
it's a busy week.
Yeah, 3-episode week, but I promise
it's all worth it.
Yeah, this was a fun Monday morning news.
You're getting your money's worth, I promise.
Grid Legends is a little contentious, you know. So there's people, they love it, they hate it. You know, we'll break it down in the review. It's got a lot of 5-star reviews. It's got a lot of 1-star reviews.
Will we say?
And then our interview at the end of the week. This is a real fun one. I think you guys are going to like to see the collaboration. So, nonetheless, stay tuned for that. Subscribe so you get those episodes ASAP. Go pop into our Discord. Like I said, you can find the links for those in our show notes. And stay tuned.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.